This is the second part of doing the drawings in the G code for my coupling for my steam engine. And start off on this one, I've got to make a correction here in the drawing. My drawings aren't really for like CAD drawings in the sense that you could take these as plans. I only make my drawings for actually just producing the G code. In most cases, if I wasn't doing this for a video, I wouldn't even have drawn these sides because they're operations that I'm not going to do actual G code for. I'm just going to do G code for this upper section here to cut that out. And I'm going to look at the part before I actually pocket out these holes because more I've thought about this, it would probably be something more modern than what would have been done at the time to produce this sugar mill engine. So this is just going to be taken out with a ball mill, and I made a mistake here when I drew it. These lines actually are in the wrong place. I'm just going to move them. They don't have anything to do with, so I'm just going to draw a line here. Whoop, put it in the wrong spot. I'm going to draw a line just to line these two parts up, and I'll correct the lines here. Stuttering today. Gonna just pick. Oops, I need to group this. So I'm gonna pick that up and line it up here, and then I'm just gonna carry the correct line through, which right here, hold the control key, keep the line straight, and then draw another line down lower. I just noticed this morning when I put it on that I'd actually made it at the full width of the half-inch ball mill, and I'm not going full depth, so that put the line in the wrong spot. So then I'm going to take this, select all this here, go line intersect, and then delete out the lines I don't need. I'm going to hold the control key down and select each line that I don't need. And let's see. Don't need this one. Don't need this one. Alright, we'll delete off those and see how it looks. Alright, that fixed that. Then I'm just going to select this and regroup it. And move it back over. So I'm going to take now and save the file. I can just now click save. And then I'm going to export the file with the same name. Replacing the other one. Alright, so now we'll go into D2 and C. Just a quick note, I brought this up to show that what I'm going to do is I'm not going to show all this. I'll just take another photograph afterwards. I've got this in a collet block, and I'm going to square this off. And the actual block I need, the event, the drawings are at 0.8 by 0.7. I'm going to mill this down manually just to 0.850 to 0.750. That way, in the actual, when I actually mill the part out, I don't have a chance of leaving flat spots up here on the tops of these radiuses for just slightest little discrepancy and flipping it over. So if I actually made that block 8.8, there's a chance that I could leave a flat spot here. So I'll make it 850. So we'll go into D2 and C now, if I can click on the right thing. And go ahead and open that drawing. So you click on CAD, import DXF file. It's called Mill-Sheff coupling. I'll open it. It has all of the drawings, and the only one I'm actually going to be working with making G-code is this drawing in the top center up here. So I'm going to click next to accept it, and then I'll click on modify and go ahead and remove the sections that I'm not going to be working with. I just remove selection. It doesn't remove them from your actual drawing, it just removes them from what's shown on the screen. Then I need to click origin, and for the origin I want to center. When I mill this part out, I'm going to use a 16th end mill so I can get some tight radiuses down inside these corners here. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. It would go a lot faster, and I could make the part quicker if I used an 1/8 inch end mill, but I would really lose a lot of detail in this section right here, and I'd like to keep it closer. So I want to use a 16th, and the 16th I can only go to a depth of 0.230. That's not going to hurt anything because it's going to leave a section in the center as I flip the part, but I'm coming in with the 1/2 inch ball mill and doing each side, which will clean that up and remove it. So it's not going to cut through half the depth of the part, but it doesn't really need to because of the two side cuts. I hope this makes sense. Sometimes I just babble. So here's my part. I've selected its location as center. Once again, this circle doesn't mean anything. I put it there for alignment for drilling. D2&C works funny. It will re-zero your part to the first circle if you actually go to a drilling one. Instead of actually taking this point, it will end up re-zeroing it to the first circle. By saying center and doing it with a drill, then it looks at the first circle in the center and it will come in and make these points. But I've changed my mind again. I'm just going to go ahead and take the 1/16 end mill and pocket each one of these to a depth of 0.1, and then I'll come back and just go ahead and drill them, and that'll be used as a pilot hole to start to drill into, and then I'll drill it through. Next thing I need to do is go into offset. I'm going to use a 16th end mill, and it's 0.062, and you'll have a tendency to put this 5 in here, and I want to show you a problem that you'll have with D2&C. It does not go 4 digits. So if I put the 0.0625 in there instead of just 0.062, I'll show you a problem. So I'm going to click on outside and click right here to select the outside and do the offset. And if you notice, it disappeared off the screen. And it took me a while to find this. What's happening is it's confusing D2&C because there's a 4-digit number here. And let me go ahead and undo this now and take that 5 off. And this has really nothing to do with anything except if you run across this error. If I go ahead now with the 0.062 and select that outside and tell it to offset it, then you'll see it'll do it properly. So if you run into a situation where it just disappears off the screen on you, that's probably what's going on. Now I want to go ahead and select these 4 circles. Like I said, I'm just going to pocket them down to a depth. They're an inside pocket, and go ahead and offset them. So that's all I really need to do there. I can go now to path, select contour, local shape, none. I want to go ahead and do the 4 holes first, so I'll select them. I'm going to move that in to the area. I want to say their depth's 0.1. My step, I'm going to take 10,000. This is first time I've used my high-speed head on the actual ZX45 mill. I made a bracket and a mount and everything to put my high-speed spindle on this machine, and I haven't used it yet, so I figured the small part like this would be a good time to start. So I'm going to go ahead and let D2 and C select my feeds and speeds. It has always been really conservative. I definitely want to ramp these pockets, so I'll let D2 and C select that. Now if you see here, see this 0.18 is the ramp distance, and it has more than 0.18 there. I'll just delete that last part off. So I've got the ramp as long as possible to keep the stress off this cutter. It's giving me a speed of 8,000 RPM for my spindle, and that seems pretty good. So I can go ahead and add and close these. Make sure everything's right. Material top, cutter, 8,000 feet, 8. Okay. So I'll add that. Click on contour again. I'll pick up my outside shape. Got to remember to pick local shape, none. Select the outside, move that in. My full depth on this is going to be, like I said, that 16th cutter will only go 0.230. I'm going to take 20 thousandths on this. I'm going to try it. Like I said, I haven't done any high-speed cutting yet, so hopefully this works out fine. Going to ramp this, and I'm going to put a pretty long ramp on this. It's saying I've got up to 3 inches. I'm going to put it at 1 inch. Just keep the stress off this cutter. Looks like I've got everything okay there. Add and close. Alright, so the first thing it's going to do is pocket out the 4 holes. Then it's going to come do the outside contour of the part. And then this same code I'll just flip the part over and do it again from the opposite side. Hopefully my zeroing is accurate and I don't end up off any, but we'll give it a try. I'm going to go ahead and generate the G code. If I would have done this in Mach 3 from inside Mach 3, it would have come up on the screen here. I didn't have Mach 3 open because I have so much open on the computer anyway. This isn't the computer I use to actually do the machine work. This is a computer that's on the internet and runs a bunch of other stuff. But here's my mill. It's going to pop up saying that it's not hooked to the machine. It's just looking for a piece of equipment on my machine that's not on this computer. Taking a minute to load because it can't find that piece of equipment. Okay, I'm just going to click reset. If I'd have run D2 and C from in here, when I told it to generate the G code, it would have popped back up right in Mach 3. D2 and C sends its files over as D2 and C.tap. So I'll go ahead and load the files right here. And here you can see the actual picture of the process I'm going to do. So as far as machining this, I think what I'll do is I haven't got any really good software yet. I'm looking for something to do editing of these videos, and all of this videoing this stuff and everything's been a learning curve for me, and the first videos I did were really poor quality, and I'm still having a problem with the timing of the video to the sound. So I think I'm just going to take photographs as I go through, try to take a bunch of them, and then just put the photographs in there after I've done each machine process. I may take a video of it and try to play with it to edit it, but for this first part here, I'm just going to go ahead and machine this. I'll machine this from one side after I've squared up the block, then I'll machine this into one side, then I'll flip the block over 180 in the vise, and I'll machine it again from the other side, and then I'm going to come in with the ball mill and cut the other two remaining sides out. Then I'll take a look at it and decide at that point in time if I actually want to pocket these out to recess in the bolts. The more I think about it, for the year that this actual engine was made and everything, they really weren't too concerned with personal safety of people and things sticking out or you could get caught on. So I don't believe they would have pocketed these out and put all the extra effort into making these castings. So I'm going to take a look at it first, and then we'll go at it later. That's it for this video, and then I'll follow up with photographs.